Hi there, welcome back. Welcome to our last video. Now, we have seen many interesting things, I hope, in this course. And on the course platform, in particular, in weeks 5 and 7, I have posted extra stuff, extra materials. So just have a look. I promised, I made it. Now, you know that you have to submit your answers to the weekly exercises, to the partial exams, to the final project. Please remember that you only have one deadline, which is February the 29th. My suggestion is not to wait until the very last minutes, because you never know if there are problems with the servers, okay? So try to submit your answers as soon as possible. Now, even if the course is over, in the next days I will still have a look at the course forum and I will try to answer your questions. Now, since my offline courses have started, I just ask for your patience, so expect some little delay in the answer, but I will surely answer. And remember that you can also write me emails if you have more specific answers, even after the end of the course, even after the deadline, because I really like to have this interaction with you. Now, I have two questions that I would like to answer in this session. The first one is from George, who asks what the best practices are when we want to move from through the cycle PD to point-in-time PD and vice versa for collective provisions. Now, this is a very nice question and the answer is not simple. So there are different ways in which we can assess the PD for collective provisions. What are the best practices? I can tell you what I believe. I believe that linear models in their more general formulations are actually the best compromise between statistical soundness and easiness of use. With these type of models, with linear models, you can deal with different hierarchies, different classes, you can introduce different types of factors, and this is very helpful when we want to model, for example, collective provisions. Now, how to move from through the cycle estimates to point-in-time estimates? Well, that depends in practice really on the model. On the course platform, I'm posting an example when we deal with logistic regression. But again, if you have more specific questions, just write me an email, even later on. Now, another question is related to the so-called Comprehensive Capital Analysis and Review, or CEECAR. Now, we are speaking about a regulatory framework introduced by the Fed in order to assess, regulate, and supervise large banks and financial institutions. In a sense, CEECAR can be seen as a completion of the Dodd-Frank's stress testing. But CEECAR is bigger than stress testing because it's a tool, it's a regulatory framework that allows the regulator to have a better understanding of the risk management systems and practices of banks. CEECAR is strictly related to the Basel framework, to the complete Basel framework, when we have the three different pillars, so the minimum capital requirements, the supervisory review, and the market discipline. Because CEECAR is really a comprehensive approach to risk management. If we want to underline 5 main points of CEECAR in comparison with the Basel framework, we can essentially cite the following. First of all, banks need to develop more comprehensive stress testing frameworks that are flexible, forward-looking. And for example, they have to generate different scenarios: the baseline scenario, the adverse scenario, and the severely adverse scenario. The second point is that banks have to develop firm-specific scenarios. And here we have all the discussion about PD, LGD, and so on. Then we also have that banks need to better connect macro variable, what we have called the common factors, to the idiosyncratic quantities, to the obligors factors. So it's really important in the SEECAR the way in which banks really connect the systemic part of risk with the idiosyncratic part of risk. Then banks need to choose the right models and the right benchmarks, and this is the fourth point. So if you want, we are really dealing with model risk, and you find all the discussion about model risk in SEECAR as well. And finally, we have the last point, the fifth point, which is the point related to the validation of the models that the banks and the financial institutions decide to use. And this validation need to be quantitative but also qualitative. And it's very important the way in which banks prepare their documentation in order to tell the regulator how they deal with risk, the different types of risk. Okay, that was it. I really hope that you will continue asking questions on the course forum. We will no longer answer with videos, but we will surely answer with other medias. Remember, you can use the course forum, you can write me emails, you can even tweet me using my Twitter account. I will be very happy to answer your questions. And again, I repeat, even after the official deadline of this course, because it would be nice if we can really maintain a discussion among us, among the participants of this course. So I wish you all the best, and I'm just waiting for your final projects. Okay, goodbye.